Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's trade breakdown, 11th September 2023, took 25 pips at the London Open. It was a breakout trade, not one I'm usually comfortable with, but we'll go through and let's just dive into it. Look at the news first. There wasn't any news today. Nothing. It was pretty quiet on the whole ticket, which always makes me nervous because these tend to have surprise news. But we are in Fed blackout, so because we've got the FOMC next week, so for Fed speakers at least, they're not going to shake the market up too much, and indices do tend to have a correlation with each other, so that's at least one good thing. So we kind of expected like we're never sure what the catalyst was going to be for today, but there was volatility, so let's have a look. Okay, so because this is Monday, we did start the analysis off with having a look at where potential some areas would be, and because I'm overall kind of bearish on the market after uh, it's always difficult with stocks because fundamentals are like the last ones to if you took fundamentals as a indicator, it's super lagging because the market tends to take a while to take note of their fundamentals. So based on technicals, I was looking to trade with this weekly candle, but what I was looking for was it to hopefully push up initially so that we could at least drive down into this wick and plan some easier sells. However, that might take a couple of days. So I was thinking that based on last Friday's analysis, I was actually expecting price to have pushed up, but it didn't. So we had some unexpected news come out on for German revising their output. So what we actually had, instead of this candle breaking above these wicks, let me just bring up my charts here, my analysis. Sorry, I was because we had touched into this level a few times during the day last week. I thought that last Friday, if we're pushing up above this wick, I thought we'd have a fairly nice buy move, at least to push up into this little area. That move didn't happen last Friday, so it made more sense for it to happen today. We had pulled liquidity from down these lows over here, so it makes sense for that liquidity to be offloaded somewhere. Okay, so the idea was for a price to push up to sort of set itself up for better price points before potentially pushing bearish for later on the week. Dive into the 4 hour. I'll just go down straight to the lower time frames. Let's keep this thing short. So this was the area that I was expecting. See how like we created a beautiful little resistance on this candle here, this candle here. So that was my resistance from Tuesday. Tuesday that was. Yeah, formed on Tuesday. The Wednesday retested it. Thursday retested it again in the London session, pushing up a little bit higher, wicking the top, taking liquidity, breaking that. And I thought, well, after it's breaking the high, if we can push up into this area again, we can have a really nice, easy move above here into this clean candle. We had a little buy to sell maneuver in New York session on this Tuesday, and then we could eventually push up into the monthly levels and take out New York high. If we're pushing above these wicks here, we're going to the high. That just makes a lot of sense. But that didn't eventuate last Friday. And instead, about 9 o'clock UK time, we had a report from someone revising GDP for Germany from minus 0.2% to minus 0.4%. So that led to a little bit of a sell-off, which was they overcooked it. So then they grabbed some liquidity, price rebounded quite strongly, and then we stayed here again. So then coming to this week, no real news on the docket. So, I didn't really have any bias until I got to the charts, but saw price pushing quite heavily up in this Euro Open. On the actual official Open of London, this was the 8 o'clock candle here. Let me just show you what I do, because I don't like taking the first breakout. I don't like taking breakout trades. So I didn't want to take the very first break above here with the momentum. Let me just go to a 5-minute chart. Okay, so the very first 5 minutes, price pushed down and then wicked up, left a kind of like thin the liquidity to the upside. So you're not really sure if there's a rejection wick or a candidate to be a wick fill or not. Obviously, if it like started breaking these lows and pushing down quite strongly, then you'd say, yeah, grabbed a lot of liquidity and then pushing down. But because it was threatening to break out, what it was looking to do is like a buyer's trap, just trapping early buyers, pushing back down. But if we can actually start forming a support, because we have made a high, it made sense to retest the high. But I had those doubts going in my mind about what this wick represented first. So I wanted to take the second break. Okay, so then the next 5 minutes, kind of just let it play out. Price pushed up, closed nice and healthy and bullish. If we had a candle that started breaking down, making a lower wick and then flipping bullish, it makes sense to retesting this wick and then potentially going further upside. What also was on this trade's favor was we had clean traffic to the left up into this little zone. So next 5 minutes, okay, price wicked down a little bit. We did have a little support created on the 1 minutes, over here. So there was something to keep your eye on. Okay, then price, let's go back to the fives. Okay, price tested the lows and then started pushing bullish. So this is where I was getting really interested to take this trade. Because it is a breakout, I have missed the best entries. The best entries were down here, but it's just too damn fast. So what made sense was if we're breaking above this high, just to take that quick little scalp buy, close it at these like monthly levels, and then because I was expecting around here somewhere to be like the high of the session. Okay, so price very quickly just opened, wicked down a little bit, pushed up, took 25 pips in less than 5 minutes, actually. Closed out. I closed out most at like when I was getting to like up to here because it sort of bounced off a little bit, and then I just closed full when it started pushing up. So that was a trade done. Then looking to plan another trade, kept on pushing up a little bit higher, and I was just planning. I was like, you know what? If we start showing some rejections from up here, rejection candle, then I'd like to target back down to here. And I was thinking that this would be a pretty good idea if we can get like a little partial retest and then push down. And this was I'm not even going to go back to it just to make this video short, but check out last Monday. Last Monday, London did the same thing. Pushed up, came up, made a high, and then it just dropped from there. So because I was looking for it to sweep the high last Monday, this time I thought I'll just take a lower high and then take it down and then at least retest like the London 50%. I thought that was a pretty good shout. Could have been a nice 40, 50 pip move. It didn't happen though, unfortunately. The confirmations came on the 1 minutes. So let's just play this forward. And you'll see where I was talking about. So little resistance candle, followed by a doji, another rejection candle, couple rejection wicks. So all of this played out. So grabbing all this liquidity from this top side. If you start breaking low here, then you're going downtown. I just wanted to pull back and then take it to do this kind of shape. It just didn't play out. It just went straight down. Didn't give me that pullback that I wanted. If this pullback had pushed up into like this area, that would have been that partial retest. And then we can look for that fade out to take ideal entry, late entry, and then to take something like a 40 pip move. Pretty beautiful though. Like the way that just moved was fantastic. There was another little idea, this is after my day was done, but then price was dropping. It did make sense to look for price. I did say look for price to resettle around this red zone, and then start to push up to like get up towards these areas again. And that's indeed what happened. Price came down. Okay, took the this was the Frankfurt Open candle, the 7 o'clock candle right here. Oh god, that's the Frankfurt Open candle. Price just took 1 pip lower, or pipette lower, and then started that recovery. So back up to the monthly level. Nice 50 pip move from the lows up to the highs, even if you got in, say, somewhere like here, when it was closing back above this area, to trade it back up, that would have been an ideal area as well. Just another thing to note, the clean candles to the left here, over here. So these candles got filled again. After that, then I'll just skip the high time frame. Price just started ranging. So I wasn't that active today. So it could have been Monday. I was just keeping it like, just took my trade, my one and done. Do a 5-minute trade, run the open. Missed these sells here. Didn't quite pull back. Didn't take these buys because it's after my time. I had to go out at more or less around this time. And then, yeah, the day was a nice one. Beautiful volatility. So this is basically where the candles closed. So I'm going to end it there. We'll see what tomorrow has in store, and good luck. I'll see you tomorrow.